Welcome to the 110th edition of the GCN Tech Show.
This week we've got loads. We've got new handlebars, wheels, shoes, you name it, we've got it. Plus we've got your upgrades, the bike vault, and our main talking point this week.
Should power meters be banned?
No.
Also, this week's a sad edition of the show because unfortunately it's John's last ever tech show.
That's actually true. It's not Ollie's attempt at humour. It is in fact my last ever tech show.
Yep, it's true. Unfortunately, this is John's last tech show.
Yeah, I am off. It is true. But don't despair, I will still be staying at GCN, but I'm going to be working behind the scenes on the app. So I guess you can see what I'm doing over on that.
Yeah, well, I guess better download the app then.
Exactly, yeah.
Then you can tell if John's doing a good job or not as it develops.
Of course I'll be doing a good job. At this point, I suppose we could have a montage at all of my best bits over the last couple of years, but, well, that would just be a live stream of my life, wouldn't it? Because everything I do is absolutely perfect. But no, it's been absolutely brilliant, and yeah, I'll still be around. I'm sure you'll still see me in the building every now and then, Ollie.
Yeah, well, it's sad to see you go, man, but the app needs you.
It does.
This week, our main talking point is, should power meters be banned in races? Now, this comes from last week, as it was reported that the manager of the Vini Zabu KTM Pro Continental team has banned his riders from using power meters.
Yeah, now that manager is a guy called Luca Cinto, not sure how you say it in Italian, and he was one of Mario Cipollini's lead-out men back in the day, so he knows a thing or two about laying down some power, and I don't want to misquote him, so at this point we are going to bring in the laptop so we can...
Bring it in, John.
Exactly, so he spoke to Gazzetta dello Sport, and Scinto, he claimed that some riders have become too obsessed with riding to numbers that by banning power meters, it would free up the riders more when racing, and well, they could listen to their bodies more.
Yeah, Shinto, well, whatever his name is, he also reckons that riders often use their power meters as an excuse for not performing at their best, saying that he was fed up when he heard that I was doing 400 watts but still lost, and I'm not putting out more than 300 watts, so I have had a bad day. And my heart rate is not going up, so I'm tired. They're just some of the excuses that he got from his riders.
Sounds like he wants to ban heart rate monitors too.
Yeah.
Now, interestingly as well, Giovanni Visconti, the team leader, who was a former Italian champ, I think he's won it a couple of times actually,
yeah.
He agrees with that too. So he's obviously wanting to keep his job at the team as well.
So Scinto added, I don't want to lead robots, but riders who listen to their bodies and control themselves. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
It does raise an interesting argument, doesn't it?
It does.
So can riding with a power meter actually make you slower? Can you become fixated on a number rather than listening to your body and riding on feel? Because I know some riders that deliberately cover up the power number on the head unit when they race or they do a time trial, because it can act like a reverse placebo. You can think, well, I can only do that number, so I definitely can't do more than that, so I'm not going to do more than that. And then, instead they'll look at the power numbers afterwards, and then sometimes they do more power than what they thought they could do.
Yeah. Personally, I think in a road race, you don't need those power numbers because generally you're responding to other people. It's only if you like to do a suicidal lone breakaway or something like that, really.
That's basically a time trial.
Yeah, exactly that. So, in a time trial, it's really good because those experienced guys, they know exactly what they can ride at for how long. So it's really important for them to be able to judge their pace. But in a road race, no. I mean, if we look back at, Team Sky now, Team Ineos, they know, to the exact what they can ride at on a climb. So if they're there and they're trained, and a lot of people don't like watching this on a bike race, and then, I don't know, Simon Yates attacks, they know, right, he's riding at 460 watts. Well, good luck to him. He can't sustain that. We know he can't. So we'll just keep at this pace and we'll bring him back. And despite all the criticism that teams get for doing that, it doesn't have such exciting racing because people, it's not as attacking, but average speeds will go down, I'm pretty sure of it, because I think riders will be too scared to do those breakaways, those attacks, knowing that they can't sustain it if they look down at those numbers. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. Personally, well, we'll get on to actually my thoughts in a little bit on that. I've chatted to Adam Hansen at the Tour Down Under, and he talked me through a new Leomo device. Now, I think it was the Type S, not the Type R, but either way, it's a sort of body motion analyzer, so it lets you know exactly what your body's doing in different positions. And they reckon this head unit on the bike that picks up all the information from the sensors could have a SIM card fitted in. It's like an Android device, and then that could beam that back to your manager behind, because otherwise the Bluetooth probably wouldn't be great enough transmission distance. The manager then could go over the radio, hey, you need to raise your shoulders up again, you're less aero, because it detects all of those movements. I think things like that are really interesting too, because it just, there's more tech being involved, and we need to get out of like the dark ages in cycling when it comes to all these bits of tech.
Yeah. Well, I love that power meters can quantify our sport, but we want to know what you think. So we're going to have a poll in the app.
Yes, get involved.
So we'll put a link down there,
should
and you can
be banned?
you can vote on that poll.
Personally, no, they shouldn't. Go on, you got to say.
Yeah, I love quantifying the sport.
Okay. Keep power meters.
Hot tech now, and a British brand, Parkour, has just launched a new wheel set that's sub £1,000, carbon fibre and optimised for 28mm tyres.
Yeah, now the Strada disc wheel set, like Ollie says, has been designed around 28mm tyres, which is interesting. Most pros I speak to, I suppose, these aren't for pros, are they? These are people like you and me, 28mm, absolutely fine. Either way, they've been designed around that. And they have been apparently developed in conjunction with the engineering department at Nottingham Trent University.
Yeah, claimed weight as well, 1,520 grams a pair, which for a sub £1,000 wheel set, disc brake, tubeless, pretty competitive. It's right up there with, the other sort of wheels it's competing with, I guess, be things like Hunt wheels as well, which, is comparable.
Yeah, that is actually pretty light. At first I was thinking, there's not really that much to shout about, but disc brake as well as tubeless compatible, it gets a nod from me actually.
Some hot new shoe tech as well this week.
Love a pair of new shoes.
Yeah, British cycling apparel brand Rafa has teased some new cycling shoes on its website. Check these out. They appear to have two BOA dials and kind of like a knitted upper, a bit like the Physique Aero weaves.
But Ollie,
and also they appear to be in the colour of the EF team as well. But that's it. There's not really much more information. I guess watch this space.
Ollie, mate, I've already seen them.
What?
Tour Down Under.
What?
A couple of riders had them. Lachlan Morton even spoke to me about them. They're beautiful looking shoes.
Oh.
Yeah. Link to that video in the description below. Sorry, mate. Angie, I think that's how you call it anyway, which is a crash
Sound like Rod Stewart.
What? It doesn't matter. Angie, the crash notification.
Did he do that song? Was it Rod Stewart?
I don't know.
Angie, who sang
What is he on about?
No, it's Rolling Stones, isn't it? You
No idea. All right.
on.
Okay, right. Okay. So anyway, it's a crash notification system from Specialized, which attaches to the rear of a helmet. And what it does in the event of an accident, it alerts a loved one via a text message that you've had a crash, so that I guess they can come and save you. But now they've actually combined forces with Wahoo to be able to send that alert via your head unit. You still need to have your mobile phone with you, obviously, to be able to do all of this. But it means if you were to have a crash and you were unable to get to your phone in time, because you can set the alert times different, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute. But you imagine you have a little off in the ice, hit your head, I'm all right. Oh no, now I've got to get my phone out my back pocket because it's going to send that text message to the wife. Can't get your gloves off. You can simply press stop on your head unit instead. It's a simple little thing, but really well executed. I just like that safety feature.
Yeah, you can't say we're satisfied, Angie. That's what the Rolling Stones sang.
Cool.
John, what is my favourite thing in the whole world?
Oh, Crumbs. The mind boggles. Cookery and cricket combined.
Apart from that.
Well, it's got to be getting aero.
Yeah, aero. Dead aero. Check out these. New from Japanese brand Sakura. They're carbon aero bars. Nothing new there. But check this out. So we've got the standard kind of like, deep section aerofoil shape on the tops and internal cable routing. But what makes these things different is the shape of those drops.
They're so narrow, aren't they?
Look how narrow that is there. And there's also a textured surface on them so that, well, in theory, you don't need to wrap them. And by being so narrow on the drops...
Aero.
Yeah, well, narrow and aero. They reckon that it saves 12.4 watts, 48 kilometres an hour.
It's big saving, isn't it?
It's intriguing.
Yeah, I suppose once you take away like wrapping bar tape on and having any cables on show, I mean, what I like about these, as well as those dead narrow drops, is the fact that your thumbs, like you've already shown, can go in there.
Yeah, it's like ergonomically
It
shaped.
just gets sucked in. But also, how you've got another exit point there for hoses or cables, so you can run it straight through your stem and then down through a suitable headset. On an oversized system. I really like these.
Yeah, it's just 200 grams for a size 40 centimetre as well.
They're impressive, aren't they?
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Don't have to tape them up too.
Well,
no more messy taping jobs, Ollie. And they're ace.
yes, they do look, yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Well, more hot tech next week.
Snacks of the week now. Well, GCN viewer John from Bristol, who recently went to Adelaide for the Tour Down Under, brought back a couple of snacks, Ollie. So here we are, mate. I've got a Santos Tour Down Under welcome cookie.
Yeah.
So actually, this wrapper, get this, is biodegradable too. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
That is
They're really
that's
good
cool.
on like environment and
stuff out there.
looking after dietary requirements there. And also, I've got a Byron Bay cookie for you. So this is toasted coconut and white chocolate.
Nice.
So you can get that one down your cake hole or cookie hole if you like.
Try a bit of that now.
Yeah. Go on then.
Right.
This is like a live.
Did you get that free on the airplane?
No.
Oh.
No. I didn't go to Byron Bay, but a viewer I bumped into, it brought it over, and said, "Oh, I'll bring this back for snacks of the week," and all that, and well, he's now covered in cookie crumbs. Absolutely brilliant. Ollie's crotch is covered in it.
Nice, yeah, good snack.
I've had quite a few of them. Nick, cameraman, do you want a bit? Go on then.
Hopefully more snacks.
I've washed my hands. Let us know what you think about it. Go on.
Hopefully more snacks next week.
Hang on. Oh, I guess a thumbs up from Nick. There we go. Lovely jubbly. Cha-ching!
It's now time for Screw Riding Upgrades by Upgrades, where you submit the upgrades that you've made to your bike's equipment or cycling lifestyle in a chance to win the ultimate prize,
Yeah.
the GCN cap.
Yeah, and you only submit, by the way, those upgrades using the app. That's very important. Because
Yes.
I'm going to be working on that.
Yeah.
You've got to try and get through me. I'm like the firewall, but I don't.
Gatekeeper.
Yeah, but I accept things.
Yeah, so download the app if you haven't already. It's continually evolving. It's going to be good. Right, last week.
Yeah, right. The winner of last week, with 60% of the votes, was Eric in that Cannondale. So get in contact and we'll get the cap over to you.
Yeah, well done, Eric.
And let us know if you wear it peak up or peak down.
Yes.
I'm always interested in that. Depends on the weather for me.
Yeah, it was a good one
I
last
used to
week.
even cut the peak off sometimes.
All right, steady on.
Yeah. Just for the hell of it.
Right, well, this week, first up is Jeffrey Barringer. And he's bought an old Mercs on eBay and he's welded on some new dropouts to alter the geometry and change it to track hub spacing. That's clever, isn't it?
That's quite a confident move as well.
Some new wheels and a faux patina paint job, a fun urban fixie that he regrets selling.
Well, Jeffrey Ballinger, that is a lesson learned. Never sell anything cycling related. Then you end up with a whole heap of good stuff like me, and you never get it in the ear to get rid of it. But anyway, right there. So there is before. Right, okay. So that's not right. It is a Mercs that. I'm going to let you into a funny little story here.
Yeah.
So it's actually a Falcon Mercs. So Falcon, a UK brand.
It's a Falcon.
They bought the license for Eddie Merckx, or they licensed out to them so they could sell more bikes. I guess Eddie Merckx got more in his pocket.
Cha-ching.
But a guy who I used to work with a few years ago, he knew about my love for Eddie Merckx bikes, and he rang me up one day and went, John, I got this Eddie Merckx. I was like, yeah, all right. Send me over some pictures. He sent them over. and he paid loads of money like for this bike, and basically it was like gas pipe. It wasn't worth anywhere near what he'd paid, and when I told him, he was like literally heartbroken that he'd spent about 800 quid on a bike that was probably worth about 80 quid.
Oh no.
Yeah, lesson well learned.
He should have
consulted me first. Yeah.
And watched the tech show.
Yeah.
And he'd learn priceless nuggets like that.
Yeah.
There it is. In fixie mode.
Look at the state of those dropouts.
Yeah.
They've not only been altered, they've been lowered. Surely the wheels are going to not be balanced.
You're going to be confident to ride that. You're going to be confident in your welding ability. Like that's.
This looks terrifying. I like the rims. Those rims look cool, don't they? Are they Sheriff Star hubs as well? They look like campaign. They certainly look like a pair. I mean, it could be some Uzo like modern day replicas.
Well.
That's nice.
I mean, he's nice that he's matched the blue bar tape, saddle, and rims. That's kind of cool. Looks like he's built those rims.
What do
himself.
they call that sort of? Can you call it like a patina or something like that, paint job? I just call it a bit sort of
dirty, rust.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you don't cars like that, don't you?
Yeah,
that's the panel.
That paint job that paint job reminds me of like if you come across a toilet that's not been cleaned for like 10 years. It kind of like looks a bit like that.
Yeah,
anyway.
I was thinking more of a burnt saucepan, something like that. Anyway, Jeffrey Ballinger is against Bruce Andrew, whose girlfriend recently got into cycling and bought herself a cheap, basic second-hand Carrera Zelos Femme bike as a starter bike. Nice little bike that. She really wanted something a bit nicer, so Brucey boy. I hope I can call Bruce that. Decided to upgrade the Carrera as a secret project. Now, this could have gone horribly wrong, couldn't it? Imagine that. It's your girlfriend's pride and joy. I'm just going to spruce it up. She hates it. Anyway, don't know if she did or not, but he decided to upgrade it. A new paint job using spray dot bike paints, a new carbon fork, seat post handlebars, new fulcrum wheels, new saddle, stem, chain rings. Basically everything other than the frame, sounds like. Finished off with an old Shimano 105 10-speed group set that he had lying around to give it a bigger range of gears. There it is before. Saddle's really well slammed back on that, isn't it? It's like an old Belgian Pro.
Yeah, Valverde.
There it is, yeah. So
right
there's the before, and then scroll down to the...
That's been... Wow. That paint job, blooming heck.
What, you did that underneath the logos?
That's... Wow.
I know a thing or two about painting bikes, as everyone knows. And that isn't bad, Brucey.
Yeah. I mean, you are an authority on such matters, John.
Brucey has got a bonus there, hasn't he, with that?
That is, that's impressive.
I mean, that's cardboard in the background on the stand. What's that? Or is it like a chamois leather?
I don't know. It's like a mounting plate or something. For the wall. I don't know. But that looks fantastic.
That looks really good, doesn't
it?
Yeah, that doesn't look like an old toilet that's been left lying around, does it, Ollie?
No. That looks great. Well, who's it going to be? You decide. Vote in the app.
Yeah, Jeffrey or Brucey?
Yeah.
I'm going to go for Brucey. I'm saying it. I'm putting it out. It's my last show, mate.
It's now time for the Bike Vault. Favourite bit of the show, where you submit pictures of your bikes and we judge them to either be nice or super nice. And if they're super nice, we ring the bell and they go in the vault. But now there's a twist, right? If you don't agree with our judgments on the Bike Vault, well, you can have your own say. You can vote in the app. Now, also, we're going to put every week's bikes in the app a week ahead of time so that you can vote for them before each week's show.
So I've done a clever bit of thinking here, in that basically you guys and girls at home, the viewers, can decide whether or not a bike's super nice. And well, if Ollie and one of the others goes against it, they look really bad. But you look really nice as ever.
Okay.
See what I've done there? Stitch you up like a kipper.
I mean, like normally, as you know, like I ring the bell, but it's your last show, so I mean, it's only right. Thanks. Okay, so first up, John, we have got this from Ryan James McGregor 88.
Right.
What do you think of that?
Well, I like the llamas in the background.
Yeah.
They're ever so furry, don't they? You could do it with a good shaving.
Yeah. It reminds me of...
What bleak landscape, though.
It reminds me of...
Rusty fence.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, I like that. It's a cracking film, that. Got it on DVD somewhere.
Got like 3 feet of air that time. Anyway, what do you think?
Right, okay. That's one of the Movistar colourways, isn't it, that bike?
I have to say, that's a crime against the Bike Vault.
Yeah.
I mean, non-drive side.
Yeah, it's like straight away.
Non-drive side.
It's a crime.
Nice.
Basically, yeah. You're guilty. Okay, who's next up?
We have got this Trek Madone from Gianni Yamaguchi.
You said that spot on, mate. It's a winter ride in Japan, isn't it? Mount Fuji and Enoshima Island in the background. Said all that wrong.
That's Mount Fuji. Wow,
yeah,
cool.
Absolutely beautiful. Do you know what? When I went to Japan,
that's a beautiful
place.
Went
on the Shinkansen or something, the bullet train.
Yep.
And it'd be like saying, "Oh, look right now, you're going to see Mount Fuji." Didn't see a thing. It was tipping down with rain. I was absolutely gutted. I really wanted to see it.
I mean,
but it looks good in the picture.
What an amazing backdrop that is.
Spot on, yeah.
That looks like a place I'd like to ride.
Is that? Oh, that's not surfers out there in the sea, is it?
No, I think they're
not like heads.
Cormorants or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yes, the bike. What do you think, John?
Okay, well, I can't see if the valves are lined up or not. It's like I don't think they are. I think the valves have actually been hidden behind chainstay, seat stay, and fork, respectively.
Yes.
Where possible. I can't see any branding on the tyres either. So either they're Veloflex tyres, because quite often the branding on those on the other side.
Or they're Fontrages, maybe. Right. What do you say?
I like it.
I really
like it. Even though I can't see the valves.
Oh, it's a super nice.
Yeah, it's super nice.
Right, next up, we've got this very bling-looking S-Works Venge.
Yeah, who's that sent that in? It's Leo Mayer 36. Don't know where you're from, but that's a not. I've not seen that. Have you ever seen that colour?
No, I'm wondering if that's a custom job. With that metallic green fade into black. It reminds me of like a Beetle. You know, like you see Beetles.
Yeah. Like there's a pair of physique shoes like that, isn't there?
Yeah,
but
that's kind of cool.
I never normally like green bikes. I think, if someone just gave me a green bike, I'd be like, it's all right, but not.
What if you were in the green jersey at the tour?
Well, it's different.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this.
My imagination is vivid, Ollie, but it's not that vivid. If I was in the green jersey at the tour, everyone else would have fallen off.
Possible.
Possible.
Tricked out though. He's got the Shimano Dura-Ace power meter on there. Yeah. He's got his nice tyre logos sort of matched that back one, not quite.
Yeah, it's like 5 to midnight, isn't it? 5 to 12.
Yeah.
Victoria. Those levers. Look at the angle of them.
Oh god.
Are they going in really weird?
Yeah, he's positioned them in weird.
Yeah, that's very nice. Very inappropriate. That's nice. Yeah. We can't be having that sort of thing around here.
Oh god.
Wow.
Wow, that's a nice photo, isn't it?
Yeah. Someone's been to photography lessons.
Liam N. He's been riding with an SLR camera slung over his shoulder. He thinks he's going to make it more of a habit after taking this photo. So, I mean, he's got the SLR.
Yeah.
But
it's a bit soft, isn't it? The Canyon logo.
Yeah.
I mean, a bit of like.
He's not in Biggie Smalls there.
No.
He's tried to hide the fact that he's not in Biggie Smalls with a vignette, but I'm not falling for that. And
are those genuine wheels, mate?
I don't know.
The rear one looks to have too many spokes. I don't know. Maybe it's just an older wheel.
Well,
there's also graffiti.
The crankset's not quite.
Yeah. There's a lot of ivy growing as well on those like pillars in the background. I'm not a fan of ivy.
You're not?
No. Well, I like ivy, my next neighbour's dog, but I don't like ivy on things because it's horrible stuff.
See, the thing is, the viewers are going to say that's super nice, I think. But what do you think?
So, what is that extra bolt below the
That's the collar for the A-Cross headset, I think.
But they don't normally have a bolt as big as that, unless you've cross-threaded it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice...
Yeah, it's nice. It's nearly there, but I think it just wasn't quite crisp enough.
Right, okay. We've got a giant...
I can let you say who submitted this one.
Sabrinovsky.
Vlatko Sabrinovsky.
Vlatko Sabrinovsky. I think I got that right.
Definitely, yeah. Now this is a setup, isn't it?
Yeah. Look at that.
Got some new wheels, tubeless setup, K-Dex boost saddle. That's one of those new ones.
Oh yeah. TCR.
Favero pedals, is it? They're those power pedals, aren't they?
Oh yeah. You don't see many of those.
No. No.
Well, he's got tubeless tyres set up on there as well. He's Vittoria coursers. You can see the little valves. But oh no, Biggie Smalls, come on.
Yeah, that's like Biggie.
Bloody hell.
Biggie almost massive.
He's so close, isn't he? It's clear background, nice bike. He's lined up his wheels and his tyres. He's 3 o'clock. He's done everything. He's taken accessories off his bike. He's done everything. Taking his bottles out.
He's even got colour match bottle cage. Really well done. Look at them. The blue and the grey.
And then Biggie Smalls.
Yeah.
I mean, what is that? It's Biggie Big.
Black Coast, obviously a big rider. If you look at the size of that bike,
I mean,
the wheels look small.
Biggie Big. No.
Yeah, Biggie Big
no,
doesn't do it for Ollie.
We've got standards.
Biggie Big doesn't do it for Ollie.
No. Nice. Right. Next
nice,
up.
obviously then. Cookslov.
Cookslov.
KUKSLV. Cookslov.
And description. He's written in the description section 89. Make of that what you will.
I don't know.
That's 89.
Right, there we are. Anyway, it is a Gazelle bike. That's nice, that. Reynolds tubing, probably 531, judging by the colourway, because 753 and 653 was like a pinky colour and 753 was magenta, and that's green. Geeky Reynolds tubing stats on stickers for you there. Looks to have a pair of the Vittoria Giro d'Italia Special Edition tyres. Got a pink saddle with a bit of relief there, a channel in the top.
Oh.
Looks nice. Now,
I quite like that pink top tube, Quite like that. I think it's fancy.
It looks to be as well 105 group set, because those
it's a bit of everything.
Those brake levers, I'm pretty sure it was only 105 that came with the white hoods, and they got so filthy and horrible and grubby. It's a grubby little thing. That looks a shame. There's no location. That could be
Hull.
Could be Hull.
The Hull estuary.
Yeah, it could be that. It could be the Lake District. It could it or not? No. No.
Skegness.
Skeggy, yeah.
Could be Skeggy, that, yeah.
But no, we definitely haven't put it, have they? No. I really like that. I think it's wonderfully shot, isn't it?
Right, well, John, this is a big moment now. Because this is your last ever bike vault judgment. What are you saying? I'm leaving it on you.
I was hoping it'd be a simple one, to be fair.
Yeah.
And it's got a fluted seat post. It's an old bike. It's still being ridden. It can only mean one thing.
Yeah.
Super nice. Very, very lucky.
Well,
you wouldn't have given that.
That's scraped in.
You wouldn't have
scraped in.
You wouldn't have given that. Just remember that.
Well, that's all we've got time for this week, unfortunately. Oh man, I'm gonna miss you, man.
Yeah, it's been good. Come on. Finally, I get a hug. So at this point, I tell him I'm not really going to the app, but I am. Yeah, in seriousness, I am.
Well,
just said that to get a hug.
Yeah. If you enjoy the tech show and you'd like to support the channel, well, it's dead easy. Subscribe and hit the bell icon if you haven't already.
Share it.
You can also share it with your friends. Head over to the shop if you want to get a hoodie. If you want to get a hoodie that camouflages you into the background, like John does. We've got loads of colours available.
Not really here, it's just on a green screen.
Yeah. And to watch another video, how about some Tour Down Under tech?
Yeah, there's loads from there. Yeah, click, there's a few on screen right now, a couple on screen. See you soon.